All right, this week we are talking about Technic pin plates, a whole bunch of other plates that even require a brick separator. The Amtrak train gets a little bit of an improvement to its trucks. We have a continuation of the shunting engine with all of its fun internal components. We even touch a little bit on that guy over there. Let's get into it.
All right, welcome back. We're back to my basement again.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
One of these days we'll branch out, but my Lego area, I guess you could say, is transitioning from my son's room to the garage. So it's a bit messy.
I saw pictures of it. It's looking great.
Thank you.
Looking good. So yeah, hopefully next week we'll be there.
Yes. Much closer than I was last week. Last week was like shelves were barely put in place. So yes.
Making
some headway.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Any other news for the week?
Ooh. No. I mean, I got some good parts of the draft.
Oh, good. Good. And how did your cemetery go?
It was fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
One of those, like, it fit in with everything else that was there. And yeah.
That's good. That's good. Let's see. For me, I got some Bricklink orders. Got some good parts-ish. Just a little bit of everything. Planning on building some other stuff.
You didn't see that?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. That's a future project right there. This is all future projects, but that's one of 4. I'm waiting on one which hasn't been shipped yet. It's been 5 days. Hasn't been shipped. Don't know why, but whatever. So
I don't think I've ever seen that piece. What?
The yellow one?
The yellow one, yes.
The yellow one. It's for cranes, crane and train guy.
Uh-huh.
The crane part.
59807.
There you go.
What are you going to use that piece for?
I am making some bulldozers with hooks on the sides. They're for for lifting. They're for lifting trains and stuff for my train yard exhibit. So it's yeah.
Well, you say bulldozer and then you said train. It's not like bulldozers pushing like wrecked trains. Okay.
It is. They go on the side. They got a lift and a hook, and they can actually lift the train up and put it back on the tracks for like derailments and stuff. So I'm hoping next video I will have one of them built. I'm going to build 2 of them so that way I can one on each side of the train.
You've got a theme going here, I've noticed, in regards to lifting train stuff.
Lifting things.
Right there, which
crane stuff.
Yeah, you said it was just out of frame or just barely in frame?
Barely, yeah. This is a train shed, and it has a maintenance, like a crane on top of it for lifting engines and stuff out. So,
special video
for sure.
There's like a little jingle.
Okay, so that's all my news. I didn't hit the Lego store this week or anything like that. So, yeah.
Me neither.
A little hard up for that. So, we do have, if you didn't notice, a new train here tonight.
Yes, in the previous video, we had spoken about the pins. So I've got my 2x2 with pin upwards. And I'll put over a screen overlay again for this, where it has the lip.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing will just wibble wobble all the way down the track because of that. So somewhere in this pocket, there's one.
Whoa!
There's 2. I've got turntables. And what I'm going to be messing with here tonight, while we're kind of going over some stuff, is removing this, and I will grab that camera so you guys can get a close up. So yeah, this is the bottom section of how this train is set up, and a little sneak peek, if you will. I've got some wiring in here. Maybe we'll touch base on that today, tomorrow, or not tomorrow, today, next week, whatever. But I just have that 2x6 Technic plate They make a part for that, I think. A brick separator.
Yeah, there's one right behind you.
I should. Oh. With jumpers, be able to hold on all of these components. I've got a couple down here too. So what I've got to do now is, this should be an easy conversion, because all I'm doing is removing these plates here, the Technic plate and then the 1x6s, and that should put this at the same level so that it can slide inside of here. We're about to find out. Is that it needs these jumpers. This is a 7-wide train, so you can see in here we've got, well, actually you can't, yeah, you can kind of see a 3 and a 4. This one's a 3 and a 3 because I needed to have space for the Technic pin that came up. But then 3, 4, then the other direction 3, 4. So I did that across the bottom and the front and back, and up here where I brought it, tapered it in, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, etc. So at this point, a little disassembly. This one. And I might need to do a phone a friend, potentially, because let's see, outside, outside. That'll sit in the middle, and the middle.
There you go.
I think that'll work like that. The only thing I don't know is if it's in the right position, forward or backward. Oh yeah, that's gonna line. I don't have to modify that hardly at all. But it's kind of sitting really far forward though, huh? Yep.
You take it back one, don't you?
I think by one stud, yeah. So.
Or move that back.
Well, yeah, because if I move this back by one stud, I actually have to take this apart in here.
Yep.
And put a 1x4 in there somewhere. So I think I'm going to just shift this.
Now don't you need to move that forward?
Oh, yes, yes. Thank you. The smart one here.
Long day of work, I can tell.
Yeah.
And boom.
There we go. We got that buffer and the magnet not too far forward. Good spacing. And
just like that.
Yeah,
hold on. There you go.
Oh.
I saved you.
Some of these components back down solid. I feel like I'm rushing through this, but that's okay, because that just means you guys get to see the outcome faster.
That's right.
How did I do this before?
There you go.
Now, all of your trains have turntables? Yeah, I think you said at one point?
Yes, all of them have turntables.
Just like this?
Most of them have the great big ones just like that. I have just a few that's the little 2x2 turntables. But I prefer these bigger ones, the 4x4s.
Okay. All right, which position are you? To the front of the...
To the front, yep. Right there.
This one's got a little more wiggle room with that plate that's in there.
And just like that.
Now if I wiggle that back and forth, you can see just that minimal movement on the turntable.
A lot better than before, huh?
Oh, gobs better.
And test track.
That's moving the whole track, not like when I push on that. So if this was going down, it's not going to be wiggling at all.
Nope.
All right.
Whereas before, you can see right here, got a little bit of a gap in there. That's where he was getting the wiggle from. Very nicely done, Joe.
Thank you. Quick build of the night. Which reminds me, I didn't think of a tip of the day. So I guess, is that the tip of the day?
That can be the tip of the day.
Okay.
I'm still looking for a makeup brush for
I keep
dusting.
forgetting that.
Yeah, so I went to Home Depot to see if they had a makeup brush. They didn't have one for the dusting, so I didn't get one.
Home Depot, no makeup brushes?
I know. Yeah.
So
Everything's a little
surprising.
too bristly over there.
Did you have this out for something else to pull this? Want me to pull this off?
Yeah, for my build. So we're going to continue on with what I was doing last week. Got that.
Oh, let me shift over this camera then.
That and that.
We can get the close-up shot to see better what you're doing there. Hey, look, turntables.
Turntables. Okay, so last week, this is where we left off. This is what I had done. Now, all I did was added upon this a few little things, such as I changed the colors to the colors that I wanted, which is black, basically. Like I said, that brake link order didn't get here in time, where I'd have those pieces in there. These are for future handrails. Okay, that's all that's for.
That's a phone a friend item, because I've got like
Hey,
a bunch.
there you go. He's gonna hook me up, I can tell.
No. Excuse me, I'm gonna drive home for a moment real quick.
Right? So this is what I came up with based off of this. Is basically just 2 plates tall right now. And that's what this is. I brought this in for your steps on the sides. So to get from this to this, or from this to that, is simple. Basically, no real magic here. And the trucks can come in various sizes, shapes down here on the bottom. See, I'm missing 2 little pieces, but this is what I want. The nice little shape like that.
That is a nice
for a nice little frame. And very simple. I just went from that, put a couple pieces together, the brackets on the side, 2 plates, a 2 by 8 plate, and then came over a little bit more, added some detail. That is all I did from that to that. And
now this
breakdown.
This is a bit different of a design than the blue train here.
Oh yeah, they're all different.
So do you leave this on while it's going to be going around the track, whereas this one you had talked about removing some components?
Yep, this one I can leave on because this isn't fragile at all. Whereas this blue train on here, you touch that, it just pops right off because it's the 1x1 that's holding it on there. So that's the difference, okay? And each train's different, so you just gotta look at their running gear, looking pictures. And the one that I picked, it looks like this from the side view. There's a couple little springs they have in here, but obviously I can't get that in the detail. But the actual shape of the frame, simple, easy, that's what it looks like.
That's a 1x2 tile.
Yep.
Will a 1x2 grill look accurate?
That actually might actually look better. Okay. Yeah. So all these little details. So if you take this shape, basically make that, put another bracket on the front, as I did, put your little magnet on there. Here is the little steps, all it is. 1x2 plate on there. Just goes on there like so. 1 on either side. Here is just the plain bracket that goes on the outside. Once again, I left the detail off of it just to show you how easy it is. It just goes on there. You can add whatever detail on there you want. That's the nice part. So with that, I'm going to take these axles off.
You're building up for that other side, huh?
Yep, building up the other side as we speak right now. And just like that. Got the other side, got that on. I'll add this detail later, but since this side's not powered, I don't need to have the hole through the Technic plate. And since that one's powered, I got the Technic plate in there. Put that through like so. There you go. Put that on the track. And we have the actual base with two bogies underneath it, or trucks as they call it. And now comes the motor, the battery box. And with the motor, I like to put something like this tile on top, so that way it keeps this is one option, there's lots of options, to keep the gear from sliding down away from this other gear. But basically I'll put this on there like so, and put it up there nice and close, and put a nice top on there so the axle cannot bend back and forth, because you can actually see the play in that. You don't want any play in that. There's one option. Another option is to actually put this on there, put a gear in there, and slide it up there like this also, and that will help keep the top from bowing away from it. So that is going to be my next step, and that's what I'm going to build on this next week.
You're gonna have this thing built in no time.
Yeah, it's coming right along. So once again, I'm working on 5 wide, so I'm going to have to get a little tricky to build around the battery box, cover it up so you can't see it. But with it being 5 wide, I've got my jumpers already start going, because that's what this is right here, basically 5 wide. Because your motors are 3, so that's 5 wide, that's perfect width. And then I'll just have to put some tiles on the side of the battery box, make a nice little cab, and I'll be ready to go. That's my next week's project.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Now this piece here, I'm gonna stay with this camera angle so you can kind of see. Some people, the blue Lego train, I can't think of the name of it offhand. I'll put it on the screen. The not the Maersk, the other one that's a blue and yellow, I think it is.
Yeah, the cargo one.
The cargo one, yes. Yeah. Not the passenger one.
Yeah.
That one comes with Technic trucks in it also, and a lot of people will switch those out to just a regular Lego, like this one here with the wheels and stuff under it. I don't know if that's because of any friction issues, etc., but do you find any issues doing it this way versus
so I don't really find any issues. I just like to have it put in Technic. The simple reason why is you can get your spacing. You can adjust your spacing back and forth, so you can spread those axles or get them a little closer. That's the only reason why I like these.
do cool stuff like that.
Yep. Put your gearing in just like that. I still need to make the plate that goes on the bottom to tie it all together, because right now that just the gears would pop all out. But that will be in the future video also, how to do that.
Well, I'm excited for what's going to be coming up next with this. Have you modeled like in a designer program, or do you model like on the fly as you're going?
And so what I do in a process like this, when I start doing this part now, is I can actually last week I showed you the program on how you get the dimensions and stuff like that. That's what I'll reference back to as far as the shape, the length of the top, and how tall it is in the cab. And I can start something as simple as just putting blocks up, just getting a general shape of it. I'm more worried right now about actually getting the motor mounted and getting the battery box as far as I can over against the back of it. So I got room back here. I'm going to have to build some grills and stuff for the engines. But that is what the next thought process is actually
Okay.
getting these mounted first, and then build around them. If I have to, I'll adjust them to be able to get everything to fit to make it look correct.
Usually what I do is my stuff ends up every single color that Lego makes.
Of course,
And then
yeah.
it tears down to
Yep.
rebuild it the colors I need.
As you notice, I think I'm going for a red train, but I ran out of reds. I got blue. I mean, it's whatever I got on hand. That's what this is. Then I make an order, and now I'm waiting for some more bricks to show up. But
Okay.
proceed on whatever color you got.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of GBCs are built that way too, I think.
I think so
Every
too.
color rainbow.
Yeah, they're real colorful, those GBCs.
Yeah. Now this train I assume we'll see it at the next convention. Our local convention is Brick Slopes, whether it's Brick Slopes or something else that you head to around the nation, whatever. But for bringing this one, any of them really,
there's a process.
There is a process.
Yes, there's definitely a process.
Some conventions, they kind of let you just show up and run a train, but most not so much.
Yeah, you need to basically phone ahead.
Yeah.
So Joe and I, we've actually done a couple shows together, and we've actually been the coordinators over the shows. The best thing to do if you decide to do a show is find out when the show is, contact whoever's in charge of the show, and make sure they got a train coordinator or a layout coordinator. And that's who you need to talk to. You can't just show up, bring a train, bring stuff like that. Usually there's a coordinator, a way to register your stuff. Reach out to that person, whoever that might be, and that is where you get the info.
Part of that's based on when stuff's happening throughout the show.
Yeah.
I've seen some where they have full sign-up sheets, and they just get checker blocked full because somebody may not be able to be at the show on, say, a Saturday.
Yeah.
But they could be there on a Sunday. So they've reserved their time slot to say, cool, they've got this massive layout at the convention.
Oh, yeah.
To run this big train. And so I want to be able to run it for an hour, 2 hours.
Yep.
So
same for your layouts. I mean, if you have a display with a track going through it, you want to show that off, you definitely need to get a coordinator or find the coordinator for that to get in. Usually this stuff starts,
minimum 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months beforehand. So don't wait till the month before. You probably won't find a spot. So as soon as you decide on a show, find out who runs it, find the coordinator, get in. Like he said, there's people that's always doing running trains. Sometimes we have nobody that wants to run a train because things are going on a show. Other times, like he said, everybody's booked and you're actually fighting to get your train out on the rail. So, and some places even have themes. So check into that, because if they have a theme and you don't fit in, it won't be a happy day.
If you're running a lot of trains, or your thing is train, right? Like you go to a show to do train, I would say that probably one of the most fun times to be at the train loop is the last 2 to 3 hours of the show.
Oh yeah.
Go throughout the show, because you're going to see all the trains. People are going to be running all their fun stuff. You'll see some that will run like I said before, on a Friday versus a Saturday.
Yeah.
But I think that lasts 2 to 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
If you're looking for something very interesting, that's the time to go.
Yeah, there's a golden hours every day. So the first day when you show up for a show, it is just chaos. Everybody is you're trying to get it down, you're trying to get the tables up, you're trying to get everything running, making sure the batteries are charged, all that stuff. It's chaos. And you're trying to get it done before the public walks in. So that's a little chaotic. But every night, usually about the time they close the doors, well, depending on convention centers, people will stay around for an hour or 2 or 3. And that's when the fun starts. Because once the public leaves, people start having train races. They start checking stuff out, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The very last day, what I've experienced is usually right, you've got about the last hour or two with public there, and people are usually kind of like, oh, whatever, we don't care anymore. And they'll crash trains, they'll do whatever. That's another fun part, because as soon as the public's kicked out, all this stuff goes in boxes. I mean, boom, it's that fast. Everybody wants to go home. So if you want order chaos, do it the days before. If you want chaos and lots of fun the very last day, that's when you stick around, play with trains. A lot of people are experimenting. That's when I pull out all my weird rail cars and we take trees off and everything else.
Oh yeah, that 370 car, whatever it is, train that you had.
Yeah. Chaos. I mean, I'm taking cows out and everything else, people, but
oh yeah, I didn't run this at Brick Slopes. I didn't run this the entire weekend. The only time I took it out was when you were trying to get your train to be the longest it could go.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's not motorized.
Yeah.
But it was one of those like, hey, the end of the show, send it down the rails.
Let's do it. Let's get those 52 cars out and start pulling them. I mean, why not?
I think the number should just get bigger every week.
It does.
Okay. Just making sure.
It's a fishing story. Don't you know that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely a fishing story. Next week it's going to be 61, but,
All right. 61? Yes, got it. Got 72. Got it.
So, yeah. Anyway, that gives you a little bit of tips on if you do want to start entering shows. And it's a lot of fun. I've met a ton of people. It seems like a good train show is where you meet a lot of people, and everybody likes to just talk about trains and visit. So
I say it's worth even asking the train coordinator if they've heard of something like a special event for the train. I have my Back to the Future train. I didn't get to it. I totally forgot, but I was going to send that off the end of where the train bridge is.
Yeah.
I was going to totally send it off and crash that sucker.
Yeah.
Back to the Future style, pushing the DeLorean, everything. And I just totally spaced it. But it's one of those things that, I wasn't going to do that till the very end of the show.
Yeah. So. I mean, we know of a lot of people that once they get done with their big show for the year, so they'll build a display. They'll show it. They'll show it for a couple shows, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of its life, that's when they take these displays and just push them off the table, or their trains run them off the track or whatever. So sometimes it gets interesting. I've taken one of my cranes before and dropped the weight off.
Oh.
That's been a couple years ago.
The gray one?
No, the red crane.
Oh.
Yeah. I had my weight I was lifting, it was Duplo. So it had no Legos armor during that.
What about the pins and stuff in the crane?
Oh, the crane stayed. It was just the weight.
Oh, it just dropped.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, just the way.
Okay. I thought you meant like the entire crane just.
No, not yet. Anyway, not yet. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
We gotta have a build of something for the crane to lift this time.
Oh well, I need to finish my crane.
Red one.
No, my gray one.
Oh.
Have you seen my gray one?
I knew about an old gray one.
This is a teaser. You want to see the teaser?
Well, that depends. Are we like going to bring it on screen, then make a blurred out?
Maybe. Maybe we'll put a big black thing in front of it. This here is the base of my gray crane, my latest one. I already had it built once, took it to Brick World, all that fun stuff. Came back, and now I'm rebuilding it. It's actually, originally it's about that long on the tracks, a little bit longer, a little bit wider. Trying to get the minifig scale. It's actually after a real crane.
Nice.
So, yes, but this will be for future stuff. We'll do some videos on this too. Once we get past the train build, we'll get into maybe a crane or two. Who knows? Yeah,
this thing's huge. This thing's like moving the space shuttle huge.
Yeah, It will be, it'll probably be about 8 feet tall. 9 feet tall when it's done. So
Pretty soon it's going to be able to lift like humans, not just minifigs.
we're still working on that. We're working on that one. So anyway, yeah.
Awesome. That's your teaser for next
That's
week,
that's
next
teaser.
month, something soon.
Next week.
Next week, okay.
Next week. We're gonna go for next week.
Okay.
I'll do something to it.
All right, now you have your.
Now I got 2 projects. Got this, and I got the train. So I guess we're gonna finish the train now. All right. So there's that.
Cool. Make sure to subscribe so that you can get notifications and everything for when the next one comes out. I'm excited.
Good. So yeah, we're always doing something fun, huh? And hopefully next week we'll be at his house.
Right. I have to drive this over.
His garage. I'll start right now.
Probably wouldn't take that long.
Yeah, it would.
Cool. We'll see you next time.
All right. Till then, talk to you later.